So moving forward, our next keynote session is on the importance of behavioral fitment. Our next speaker is Professor Ravikumar. The professor is a tenured professor in organizational behavior at IIM Bangalore. He holds a master's degree in psychology and parapsychology, and a doctoral degree in organizational behavior, both from Andhra University. He's also been associated with other prestigious universities such as Andhra University, Osmania University, Behrampur University, and also the Government of India's National Institute of Small Industry Extension Training. Dr. Kumar has over 30 years of experience teaching, training, consulting, and research experience in the fields of organizational behavior and HR management. I'd like to call on stage the professor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here, but it's a very different experience I have. I don't think I ever addressed such a short gathering in terms of number. The numbers in classrooms are increasing across the globe. Like it or don't like it. Business is driving the education, not education is driving the business. And the best business is education. And business education is the easiest business. Most of us have been victims of it. I'm delighted to be here. I know that I have a difficult task. Something 20 minutes down the line, you have more exciting things perhaps. Most of us survive on liquids in the name of dieting. So I'm sorry, but you have to bear with me. Right? I'm here with an attempt to resolve certain dilemmas most of us face. One of the dilemmas is, I have lots of information available, but which one is reliable? Google Mama gives me lots of information. How much of it is reliable? That's the plight of any member of any corporate world. Day by day, the amount of information flow is increasing, and he does not know on what he can bank his decision. So that is the first problem. The second problem that we have to face is the number of professionals we are taking into industry are increasing day by day. Call them with any name. The fact of the matter is the professionals, by behavior, not just by qualification, is increasing. So the toughest challenge is, okay, how do I identify a professional? How do I get him on the board? How do I convert a potential into deliverability? This is as complicated as matrimonials. All of us think that we are going right, and we don't know where we are going. That's the plight now. So let me take you through this. Who is a professional? First, is that blighter? Sorry to use the word blighter. There's a reason for me. Is that blighter who has more value outside than the value that the company gives him? Please understand this. From his perspective, he has got more opportunities outside, and he is capable of getting more compensation than what he is getting now. One source of major irritant for any employee is the compensation, irrespective of the compensation. Ye dil mange more. The second one is he has a record of performance and a time-tested history of deliverables. He is not green. He is not a guy who is just come from a college. We are not talking about them. Higher the position you occupy in the echelon, more is the damage in terms of cost to the company. Please understand this. The third one is he has a baggage that contains cabbage and garbage. Right? The one word that I can give you out of my research is idiosyncrasies. Is a lovely way of putting what is this garbage. The last one is, he values his or her performance the most, maybe more than the organization. These are the pointers for me to explain to you who is a professional. What is performance then? Very difficult. You might use any numericals to explain performance appraisals and performance management systems. 90, 120, 160, 360, all of them are 420. From a professional's perspective, because his actual performance is not, according to him, is captured by whatever PMS that you may use. Doesn't work. What are the factors that influence success? Please understand this. There are 3 factors. The 4th one, I'll talk about it. The first one is exposure. A professional has that exposure which a non-professional doesn't have. It could be in terms of the school, it could be in terms of the degrees, it could be in terms of the place where he has spent his time. Second, there is something called effort. Without effort, you get nothing, excepting 2 things, according to me, quickly. The bad name and enemies. You don't have to put any effort to get a bad name. Allegations are very common. The next one is endurance. Endurance is ability to wait for things to happen without losing my inner balance, which is, according to anthropologists, is coming down phenomenally in the world, thanks to technology. Right? The last one is not a new political party. All of us are getting prepared for the next elections. We don't know when. UDP is undefinable phenomenon. Even the most intelligent person on the earth cannot understand why he could not get a rise, whereas his colleague got it. Like it, don't like it, performance is a learned behavior. It can be unlearned easily. It is something that is personally as well as organizationally valued outcome. Fine. Then comes a question. That's a lag. The signal has to go to New York and come back perhaps. Our biggest challenge is, how do I make a person enhance his performance? The fundamental question. Use any word, engagement, motivation, motion, demotion, promotion, doesn't make any difference. End of the day, the HR guy's life is dependent on others' performance. So look at, can we change the job content? That's what the research says. Give me an enriching job. Enriching job is job which has no content. I have to do nothing and just take my compensation. Or can I enhance the performability? Performability is the ability to perform. Please understand. Now, it is highly influenced by the following. I heard a couple of my colleagues talking about, is it a behavioral competency? Is it a cognitive competency? Is it a physical competency? Right? All that's fantastic. The fact of the matter is, does the guy care for his performance? If I don't care, no amount of any effort by anybody will make me perform. I don't care. Second one is character. This is one word that I keep listening from my elders, claiming that they have and alleging that I don't have. Character, on the basis of my understanding, is nothing but that component of common denominator in all your behaviors. It will not change because there's a change in a reason or change in a season. Compatibility is another interesting issue that determines performance. No amount of counseling, I told one of the senior police officers in this city, that no amount of counseling would help police. Because the meaning of the counseling is different in police. I don't know how many of you underwent the counseling therapies of police, right? It doesn't work. They want to cut down the number of suicides. I said, listen, be happy that murders are not happening, right? Compatibility is the ability to get along with a person irrespective whether I love him or hate him. Boss, competence is the ability to deliver. right? Conviction, courage, composure, confidence. Ironically, if you see in the younger generation, this seems to be the only competence. Confidence is a competence, but cannot be the only competence that can deliver. The last one is, am I sensitive? Am I sensitive to the environment? Because my behavior is determined by two important factors. One is what people call it as personality. People in my field call it personality. I'll tell you what people outside my field are calling personality. Give me 1 minute. I'll take help of one idiot who is from 3 idiots. It's an advertisement. He was paid liberally for that. When I'm saying this, please understand, my behavior is determined by 2 things, by nature or by the situation. Please understand. I don't use amplifiers, I don't use lapel mics in my bedroom. Please understand. If I go to temple, I speak in a lower volume. That's the advantage. So a situation can change your behavior, or your personality can make you blind to the situation. Fine. Can I have the Maddie's clipping, please? I'm not representing Godrej.
Mr. Madhavan, முடிய கலா பண்ணி தான் பாருங்களேன்.
என்ன யார் பார்க்க போறாங்க? நான் மாதவன் தான், ஆர் மாதவன் இல்ல.
ஆனா அண்ணியோட ஹீரோ நீங்க தானே பிரதர். வணக்கம் அண்ணி. ஒரு மனுஷனோட பர்சனாலிட்டி அவனோட முடியில தானே இருக்கு பிரதர். அதனால நரைச்ச முடி இருந்தா கோத்ரேஜ் எக்ஸ்பர்ட் பவுடர் ஹேர் கலர். இது கோத்ரேஜ் ப்ராடக்ட் பிரதர். இதுல அமோனியா இல்ல. அதனால உங்க முடி ஷைனியா, நேச்சுரல் பிளாக்கா வலிமையா தெரியும். ஃபேண்டாஸ்டிக். இப்போ நீங்க பார்க்கிறதுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கீங்க தெரியுமா?
வாவ்!
சாக்லேட் பாய் மாதிரி.
கோத்ரேஜ் எக்ஸ்பர்ட் பவுடர் ஹேர் கலர். இது பர்சனாலிட்டி பத்தின விஷயம் இல்ல.
Thank you. This is not what insights will give you. This is the advertiser's understanding of what is personality. I mentioned about available and reliable information. Let me show you something that is equally shocking. Can I have does your mobile phone and your personality? Just take a look at that. While it's getting up, how many of you are not carrying a single mobile phone? Please raise your hands here. Desh ki dhadkan. Okay, I'm sure some of you are carrying more than one phone. Anybody carrying more than one phone? You're having 2. Very good. How many of you there are 4 categories of phones, and somebody claims recently that depending on the phone that you use or choose to use, we can tell your personality. Take a look at it. It's not me. Okay? Basic phone. Those of you who are carrying the basic phones in your pocket, don't tell anybody. Be smart. And this is you. Smart folks. That's you. What I do in the class, I don't do here. This is absolute bullshit. The reason I'm telling you is, in the name of personality, all kinds of things will happen. I'm reminded of series of films I saw. I continue to see them. And all of them have one running theme, irrespective of languages. One young lady faints, and the village doctor comes, holds her pulse and says, "Aap maa banne wala hai." Ask any gynecologist, he says, absolutely nonsense. Right? This is not what is personality. Right? Can I go back to my basics? Why I brought in all these dimensions is, it means many things to many people. Right? Then, how do we go about? What are the questions that bother us? Bother a practitioner, a person who takes all the heat. According to Anuaga and myself, I don't know how many of you heard about Anuaga. Anu and myself, HRD stands for Heat Recovery Department. If everything is going well, it's all because of the line guys. If nothing is going well, it's all because of the HR guys. You did not give me the talent. Where is the pool? Right? What are the fundamental challenges you face when you visit campuses? is what is your acceptance ratio? You make the offer, but the students decline, whether it's engineering or MBA, or nowadays even BA. Right? Now, how do you do this? How to convert a performance potential seen before joining in into performance after joining? Very difficult. None of us have crystal balls. How to inject objectivity? The guy who is long listed will say that the company is biased. Now, how do you say that? Campus after campus, this is the biggest problem. When you visit campuses, students are so unhappy with you that you are willing to recruit, but there's nobody ready to be recruited. Right? How do you use this objectivity or scientifics in recruitment, redeployment, and rewarding? Redeployment is never done based on any analysis. How to reduce inter-rater reliability? Let me explain what is this. Suppose your recruitment decisions are based, or your promotions decisions are based, or your redeployment decisions are based on a bunch of guys. You know, unfortunately, in our country, distributed subjectivity is seen as objectivity. If all of us think that it's time to rain, it has to rain. What nonsense. Right. When you have panelists, they don't agree. You have seen this. But they have the right to disagree. They disagree. But when it comes to recruitment decision, the HR guys, he does not know how to reconcile this. How do you reconcile this? Then you have to do some jugglery. Right? And how do you minimize the vested personal or professional biases? There is something called Jatwala feeling. Jatwala feeling is nothing to the caste community. It is the profession you belong to. It is the campus you come from. Right? Or it's from the geography of the globe. If you're coming from Europe, you don't like to look at a guy from US, and vice versa. And both of them look at an Indian. Okay? Now comes the next question. What is the link between performance and personality? Is there anything called a performing personality? Does personality perform? Personality by itself cannot perform. Right? Please understand that. Interesting things. Can we say that if we take this kind of a guy, his intent to join could be questioned? Second, what is his commitment to work? How does he align with the boss or the organization? What would be his longevity? He need not last than the company. He need not last longer than the company, but he should last as long as the company. Right? Star performance. He performs only with the stars. No. Star performance is different. Okay. Does he have an orientation to help people grow? You have a leadership pipeline. The length and the dia I do not know, but will he allow anybody to grow? Is there anything called organizational loyalty? Several political parties claim, but I did not see in any organization in my life. Can personality be measured? Can personality, if it has to be measured, can it be measured without the candidate's awareness? Please understand. The moment I come to know that you're watching, I am a different human being. I had my teacher called Hrishikesh Mukherjee in Pune Institute. He told me, Kaka. Kaka is the name of Dimple Kapadia's husband. I don't know how many of you know. His name is Rajesh Khanna. Hishida used to tell me that, Ravi Babu, Kaka is a great actor before the camera is on. After that, he's again Kaka. Right? How? Obviously, my abnormal personality will come over my normal personality the moment I know that I'm being watched. Can I minimize the socially desirable behaviors? What I said in an interaction. Can it be analyzed for its what is said, what is not said? Can I look at the data? Can I look into the data? Can I look beyond the data? Is it possible? There is a concept called impression management. For some time, I offered this as an elective for a paid audience, not for my PGP students. How do I make you see certain things which do not exist in me? This is Jadugari. Can I make you see certain things in me which don't exist in me? Right? The last one is subjectivity. How can I minimize the subjectivity? These are all the questions that bother. And we are struggling to add value, to use their platforms to answer some of these research questions. The whole idea of my being here is to tell you, if you are serious about your job, and if you're serious about doing your job better than what you're doing now, and if you're serious about doing it relying on research, we are here to help you. You decide the question, we'll help you find the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor. That was indeed a cracking session.